beautiful. How are you today? I'm Tisha Dolby, and welcome to Power, Passion, and Purpose, where every woman has the opportunity to discover your powers, your passions, and God's purpose for your life. We will be diving into healing, growing, and maturing, and becoming all that God has for you to be. Tune in every week on Sundays at noon on the Boss Up Houston Network. I'll see you on the inside. Have a great day. Hey guys, welcome back. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me again today. We've been on quite a ride over the last few weeks, and today is going to be a pretty good topic, or pretty fun. Let's say that, a light topic. And that is the fact that we are getting into the second topic that I cover within my organization, and that's passions. Passions, we tend to subside them, push them back, push them in the background. Things that we are really, really passionate about, things that we like to do, we tend to allow life to get in the way of tapping into those things. And of course, it's power, passion, and purpose. And the reason why it goes in that order is the simple fact that you got to gain your power back so you can actually put in your box what you want out of life. And sometimes to tap into your passions, you have to go do some extra training, plan, and you can't always dive headfirst into them. But there are always ways to incorporate your passions, your loves, the things that you like to do in your everyday life, or we do it as much as, or little as much as you want to. Excuse me, I got a little tongue tied there. But as per usual, here we go with the definitions. The definition of passion: a strong feeling or enthusiasm, excitement for something or about something. So it's, when you want to think about passion, you don't want to just do something that's mediocre. You don't want to do something that you just, I think about this. When I'm talking about your passions, I'm passionate about cooking. I'm passionate about fashion. I'm passionate about these things. Don't make it my purpose. That's why you have to know and see it for what it is. Is it a passion, a hobby, something that you just like to do now and then? So many people take things that they're good at and try to shift that thing and make it a passion. Another definition: a strong feeling that causes you to act in a dangerous way. That's deep. How you go from love to violence. But so often, that's where unhealing taps in. People who hurt people, I say it all the time, hurt people. And because they build this vision of what it should be and don't look at the reality of what it is. And when you don't do that, you tend to go headstrong in the wrong direction. You're not thinking clear. You're reacting and not responding. So we want to make sure that in everyday life, everyday conversation, we are taking a step back and processing our actions. And of course, there's the strong sexual or romantic feeling for someone. That has its positives, and there's also that other side of that coin, where you can be very passionate for people who don't feel the same way for you, and that can lead to additional trauma. Or it can be a great thing when two are in alignment and have the same drive and passion for each other, because it just strengthens and enhances your relationship to another level. So those are the main definitions that I wanted to touch on. Of course, like I always say, there's plenty of other definitions of passion, but in reference to what I do and in reference to how I operate, passions are those things that you decided to shelve because life got too hard, or you didn't pay attention to because of what others spoken to you and how others beat you down and how others looked at you. And when you look at things like that, when you don't tap into your passion, it is a part of who you are and who you are becoming. But if you ignore that piece, then it leads to you living a life of unfulfillment and unhappiness. And you really start having those things, you know my word, adult temper tantrums. When we try to ignore a piece or a part of ourselves, we act out. And because we're adults, people don't see it as acting out. They call you rude, they call you mean, they call you, arrogant, they call you all these things. Here we go with labels. Y'all know I don't like labels. Although we use them all day, every day, I am known for saying, let's remove the labels. Because when you can learn how to remove labels, you can remove the expectations. I have standards. And because I walk in the door and I hold myself accountable to certain things, and I have a standard for myself, that allows me in my box. I choose me and everything else comes second. That allows me to say what I will and will not accept. But just because I have standards does not mean that I have the right to portray that onto the next person. I have to see and receive people for who and what they are and what they are passionate about. Just because I see something in you, you might not see that. Or you might be ignoring your passions because, hey, I went to school for this and I got a good paying job. Is that worth your peace of mind? And I'm not telling anyone, hear my heart, I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to leave a relationship. I'm not telling you to stop talking to people. The main focus of this is for you to reflect where you came from, where you are, and where you're going. It's never for me to sit here and say what you should and should not do. I just want the best for you. I want you to live your best life. And in you living your best life, these are the type of things that you need to focus on. These are the type of things that you need to look in the mirror and analyze and process so you can put a plan together and start taking steps towards that. I love photos, but I'm not no photographer. But I can enjoy that in my everyday life. I love fashion. And there was a season where that was my priority. There was a season I went to school for modeling and I modeled. And I did it freelance. And I loved every minute of it. And today I still incorporate my love of fashion in my day-to-day living. And how I present tables, how I interact with the women I work with, skills that I teach. It's a passion, but it's not my purpose. It's a passion that I love doing that brings joy and peace and happiness to me, that I have made the decision that this is not the life I want to live, but I still have it in my box. If that makes sense, you really, really want to start looking at those things. It could be sports. It could be cooking. It could be traveling. It could be drawing, it could be writing. There's so many things that are passion, what they call passion projects. We call them passion projects. I have a lot of passion projects, y'all. Just to take it mildly, I have a lot of passion projects. And quite a few of those I tried to make my purpose. But I kept struggling. And that's one of the keys to know whether your passion is just a passion project or something that you should pursue for your career. My passions allowed me to gain skills and have tools for my purpose. It brought awareness. It brought revelation. It brought understanding of the things that I like, how it fit into the bigger scheme, how it fit into that box of my purpose. So, it's about that time, y'all. Now that I've given you the definition, I've welcomed you. And of course, once again, I am so, so happy that you chose to spend this little bit of time with me today. I am honored. I don't take it lightly that you take time out of your day to hop on to see how I'm doing, what I'm talking about, and just to glean and pick up some tips, tools, and edification from me. I'm getting ready to take my first break, and I will see you when we return.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Meridate, Houston's first private social club for couples.
We are the Adolphs.
Willie and Tequila.
We're blessed and honored to be asked to be a host couple for Meridate.
We have been a part of each other's lives for so many years.
We partied hard and worked harder.
We have 4 adult children and 2 fur babies.
We are entrepreneurs and we work together for over 20 years.
We have been married since 1999 through thick and thin, sickness and health, through troubles and triumphs, struggles and all victories. But God.
We built it up.
We built it up.
We built it up. And now we're solid. Solid as a rock. We are the Adolphs.
Join Meridate today by visiting www.meridate.com.
I'm the king of rock. King of rock. I won't stop rocking till I retire.
We're gonna be kings, T.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you took some time to process the definition and actually start thinking. Thinking about those things that you may have sat down that in your time of living, things that you were really, really like, oh, I really like or I enjoy. And there's times throughout the day and life and scrolling through social media that you'll see those things and they'll prick you. They'll be like, dang, I remember when I used to. But so why don't you pick it back up? Even if it's a hobby, even if it's once a year, even if it's quarterly, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you choosing to implement your passions back into your life. Who says you can't? I'm here to tell you you can. I'm here to show you ways that you can. As much as life, we have so many negative stimuli. We have so much that we wear. Why not do something that brings a smile to your face? Why not? And you know, my thing is trauma. When you've had trauma in your life, you have to find a way to see the silver lining. You have to find a way to see that sunshine daily. Because if you don't, you can spiral out of control. You can hurt yourself. You can hurt those that you love. You can hurt what you're trying to accomplish and get the end goal, where you're going. So many people don't understand. It doesn't take much. It don't take much to tap into. It's just about a self-reflection thing. And as you're going through the healing process, one of the things that I teach and I show is the fact it's important. It's very important to have healthy coping mechanisms, healthy things that you do. One of my passion things is karaoke. I sang. I've been singing my whole life though, but I never did it as a career. It's always been something I did for fun. I did karaoke night. We had a karaoke machine. I had friends and family that did karaoke. It's just something light, something that you can enjoy. And it brings some happiness and peace, and it allows you to disconnect for a little while from the trauma. Another one of my passions is bingo. A lot of people look at me and be like, you play bingo? Yeah, I've been playing bingo for over 20 years, y'all. Y'all hear me? And for a while, that was my escape from what I was dealing with. And it's not that to say, oh, the problems that I'm dealing with or the healing that I'm dealing with, it's insignificant. It says for this moment in time, for this little 2-3 hours that I'm sitting in this bingo hall, I'm going to woosah. I'm going to add some peace, some quiet, get rid of the chaos, and enjoy it. It's a way to incorporate joy. I tell people, can't nobody take my peace and can't nobody take my joy from me. I have moments of sadness. I have moments of downtime now because I hold on to those things that I'm passionate about and I see my purpose. So I'm constantly actively moving towards that. And I love to love. That's my thing. I would love you with the agape love of God, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can say to me that makes me love you any less. There's nothing you can do to me. Now, what I do, I protect my box. I protect my boundaries. But that don't mean that I don't love you. Sometimes that means I stay away from you to seek that love. Sometimes we have to have a conversation, that hard talk. I'm passionate about people going from A to B, from B to C, and continuing that all the way down as far as you want to go when it comes to passion. I'm passionate about families. I'm passionate about women. I'm passionate about empowerment. I'm passionate. I don't do anything that I'm not passionate about. Nothing. Unfortunately, I've got to a place and a point in my healing, in my walk, and in my purpose. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. And guess who has to deal with the consequences? I do. No one gets the space to rent in my body what I can and cannot do. And that's what I'm trying to show you. You have every right to determine what goes in your box. You have every right to say, today I love flowers, and tomorrow I love the grass. That's up to you. You don't owe nobody no explanation. You don't have to just tell anybody what you're doing. You got to do what makes you happy. But in that process, what you don't want to do is put unhealthy coping mechanisms in place. You don't want to go to an extreme. Okay, it's so hard to pick. It is so hard to pick an extreme because passion projects. I used photography earlier. You don't want to go from not tapping into that to going into debt just to fulfill this passion. Oh, and you start buying all this equipment. You buy lights, you buy streams, you buy backdrops, you buy this, you buy that. You see, I buy all these sets. That's not what I'm saying. Because now you done went from not doing it to the very, very extreme of going into debt, lack, to fulfill something that is a piece of who you are. You can take great photos on your phone. I taught my children how to thrift. Yes, I did. That was me. I'm a thrifter. I taught them how to go and shop at pawn shops. Why? You're going to find some great finds, antique shops, and you can find some things that are not very costly to help you with your passion. Everybody has an arts and crafts store or a section. And my favorite place, and no, I'm not getting royalties or anything like that, I shop on Amazon. That's my best friend. Okay? By the way, smile.amazon.com is a way that you can support my organization. You shop on Amazon just like I do. And Amazon has partnered with nonprofits, and we can get on there and what you already shopping for, what you already are doing, they send us a donation. So if that's something that you're interested in, just look it up, smile.amazon.com, and you can look for my organization as an organization you support, or any of your organizations that you like. Not just mine. But, there's always a way to tap into your passions and to continue to grow, continue to heal, continue to mature, and bring this sense of peace, joy, and happiness in your life when you're dealing with tough things like trauma, when you're dealing with breaking generational curses, when you're dealing with raising children who may have some disabilities, and dealing with you evolving and becoming, and life is still going. Life is still going. I had to, because of the intensity of the trauma that I endured, I had to learn how to shut my brain off. And a way that I did that was through puzzles. I love puzzles. To this day, I still love puzzles. And the way I incorporated that in my daily practices as I was raising my children, I had three. So we would buy puzzles, big puzzles, and it would be the three of them against me. And we would have a competition to see who can get theirs done the fastest. Passion. It's not hard. I cook, y'all. And this is an example of how not to take your passions and try to make them your career. I love to cook. And anybody that knows me know I love to cook. And I had a catering company when my children were younger. And that lasted about 3 years, officially. But what happens is, because I love to cook, and because my name was attached to stuff, there was limited help that I could accept. Because I'm funny about putting my name, and somebody else made it. Because if I didn't make it, it was hard for me to say that came from my catering company. So it was very draining. But I loved it, and I still love to cook. I just don't cook every day. I don't. Well, I'm at a phase in a stage where I don't have to. All my children are legal, and all my children know how to cook. And it's been suggested over the years, why don't you start your catering back up? I cook for friends and family now. I pick days where I want to make meals, special meals. It don't have to be Easter for me to make an Easter Sunday meal. It don't have to be Thanksgiving for me to make a Thanksgiving meal. I just wake up and I feel like cooking today. It's a passion. It's a passion of mine. You know, one of my children have been after me for a very long time to put my cookbook together. I've been dragging my feet. I'm be honest. I think I wrote 2 or 3 of my recipes down. And eventually I'll probably write the rest of them. But it's a passion. It's not my purpose. But it is a tool in my purpose. I work with women. I work with men. I work with people who have endured trauma. Some of them was never given the skills to shop, to prep, to cook on a budget. They weren't equipped. So this is how I'm saying how you look at these things for your bigger goal, because now it's a tool that I teach. I teach them how to shop on a budget and still cook meals cost effectively, stretch their money, which helps me in what I am purposed to do. So passions are those things that you want to say, what do I like? How does this fit in where I'm going? See how that works? You just say, I love flowers. I love fresh flowers. There was a day and a point in time that I didn't know, y'all. But it was attached to my trauma. Seeing a flower took me back to trauma, because people would love to give me flowers. And I would tell them all the time, don't buy me flowers. For a long time, I would say, don't buy me no flowers. And they would look at me like I was crazy, because they said, everybody loves flowers. I said, I do. I love flowers. But flowers die. That was my response. But that was the hurt. That was the pain. That was the trauma speaking. I didn't want to have this. I couldn't embrace the beauty of what flowers meant, and the smell and the aura and the aroma and the joy. I'm a color person, if you can't tell. I love color. So flowers were a trigger to death. How ironic is that? So I couldn't even embrace the beauty. So now, let's fast forward. As I've done the healing work, I love flowers. We pick up flowers. We keep them around the house. Okay, I love flowers. Always have. Because they're colorful. And they remind me of things. But I couldn't get past the fact that they died for a long time. So I just disconnected from something that I was passionate about. See how that works? When you haven't really looked in the mirror and dealt with the trauma, and you are stimulated and you receive a trigger, you automatically resort back to that trauma and it hurts. So what you do is you either become numb, you have adult temper tantrums, or you just suppress it, which is no good because now that's affecting your body. So it's about that time for us to take our next break. And when we come back, of course, we're going to talk about tangible solutions and scripture and get ready to wrap up. So I will see you in a few minutes after the commercial break.
Boss up, Houston, you know why? Right here.
This is the official Boss Up TV with your host Shamir Bacon. Tune in and stay live. Boss Up. Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Red Table Talk, the Estefans. Time to take the table to a whole new place. It's coming to Miami. 3 different women, 3 different generations. We're loud, we're proud. Let's go.
We're talking about relationships, love, sexuality.
Oh my gosh. We all know that you are fuerte. Yes, I'm a tough woman, but I'm very vulnerable.
Like muchas Latinas.
In order to move forward, you have to go to those places.
I like boys. I like girls. I like both.
Honesty will set you free. We are putting all of that on the table. Red Table Talk, the Estefans. Be a part of the conversation. Only on Facebook Watch.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome. So, like I told you today was a light topic. Passions can be fun. When I say I have a lot, I enjoy trying things. I'm an avid walker. I love to dance. I love to sing. I love to cook. I sew. I modeled. But although I'm a girl, I love cars. I love motorcycles. I was the first girl in an all-boy family on my father's side. There was 5 boys. So I love vintage cars. I love horses. I love truck driving. Um, so to say that life can be very, very colorful if you choose. It doesn't mean that you have to, we can't stop. Every day, no matter how small or large, there's going to be something. And to walk in the fruit of the Spirit, to have that love, joy, peace, kindness, forbearance, faithfulness, and self control means that you have to have balance. And that's that whole piece about passion that I love. It brings balance to chaos. So, the tangible solutions that I always tell y'all about, that box. That box. I choose me, and everything else comes second. It's important to sit and say, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want for my future? And that's the only way that you can tap into those things and not be tied, bound, and held captive by your schedule and other people's perceptions of what they say you should and should not be doing, or how you should or should not be living. See, I'd say all the time, we get snapshots. I get snapshots of where you are in your process. I get snapshots of what you are or are not doing. But it's not for me to determine. It's for you. And if you have peace and you have joy with what you are doing, who am I to come in and say you're wrong? Who am I to come in and try to stop that? I try to help people walk in the freedom that Jesus died for. No one gets to determine how you move through life but you. What you release, what you hold on to, what you excel to, or the level that you stay at. Only you get to determine that. And a part of that, I choose me, is self-love. And self-love is attached to passion. I love candles. I love shoes. I love color. So with that, I learned how to implement my passions into my day-to-day living. I implement those pieces that I walk in the house and I see a nice vase with some beautiful color in it into my life. I sit down and have those colorful conversations because it's a passion of mine. These are the simple little tweaks and twists that you can add weekly, monthly, yearly, some of them are daily. It doesn't take very much to tap into your passions. And a part of the healing process, you want to do the things that you're passionate about. You have the desire to tap into those things that bring a smile to your face. It could be makeup, it could be hair, it could be traveling. And you don't have to travel out the country. You can get in your car I used to do weekend getaways. When my children were very young, I couldn't always just get up and go somewhere. So I would find me a hotel that I wanted to stay at. Most of them had to have a jacuzzi. And I would book a weekend away. And I would take my flowers, my candles, my music, and I would just be there. And y'all, 90% of the time, it was just me. But that was something that brought a smile to my face. It was something that brought joy to me. So that's what I'm saying. If you like to cook, have a girls' night in. Have a guys' night out. Learn a new recipe. If you're a baker, bake. I'm sure somebody will eat what you got to cook. You have somebody in your friend, family, or associate circle that would love to come over. We did vision boards. We've done plants. We've done, I can't even give you the list of things that we've done to incorporate free, fun, wholesome, healthy passion projects into our lives. And it's that simple. It's that easy, guys. So, the lifestyle changes that I would have say I've made to incorporate my passions, I chose me. That was the main thing that I did. I chose those things that brought a smile to my face and found how I could incorporate them into my life. And there was a few people that rode along with me. I had people that I did things with. I had my karaoke circle. I had my dance circle. I had my music circle. I had my traveling circle. And that brings joy to me. That brought peace to me. That brought happiness to me. And when I did these things, it also helped me love me. Because these were things that I liked. So that's what I'm telling you. Learning how to love you allows you to love others. It allows you to forgive others. It allows you to see their hurts and pains and see past the action and love the person. Hence, agape love. So, some key scriptures that I use would be Colossians 3:23. Colossians 3:23. Work with all my heart as if I'm working for the Lord. So, whether it's a passion project, my purpose, I love what I do. I do. And I put joy and happiness and peace and love into that because it's a gift from God. Romans 8:28, I use a lot. We use a lot. God works for the good of those that are called according to his purpose. We're all called. We're all called to something. But see, when we don't deal with the trauma, we don't deal with our hurts, when we don't deal with our pain, we cannot see what we're here for. And we cannot make those changes and alterations so we can live that life and live life to the fullest. There's a promise attached to all of this. But you can't walk in your promises if you haven't done the work. So those are two of the main scriptures that I like to use to remind myself. And there's several more. But those are the main ones that I am called for something greater than what I'm living. I am. And so are you. So I encourage you to sit down today with your journal. As you know, that's my thing. First you got to choose, then you got to journal, which is planning. Then you take the steps. So I want you to sit down with your journal, and it doesn't matter how outlandish they seem to be, but for 5 minutes, sit down and write those things that you are passionate about, things that maybe you have put down, things that you really, really like to do, and process each one of them, how they make you feel. Do you see yourself doing this as a hobby? How happy are you when you do these things? And see how you can take the step to incorporate it in your life. It doesn't have to be a daily event, but it can be incorporated. I always anticipate vacations because it's something I like to do. I like to travel. I like to see new places. I like to taste different foods. I like to embrace. So those are the things that I really want y'all to look at and think about. How can I incorporate the things that I am passionate about in my day-to-day life? What ways can I devote some time to me? It's not even so much about the passion project. It's about loving on you. It's about that self-love, that self-care, healthy coping mechanisms that you are putting in your box for where you're going, and how that can become a part of your new lifestyle, how that can be a part of you, your character, your wants, your dreams. So when we're about to take our final break, and when we come back, I'm going to wrap it up in a nice little bow for you. I got a couple announcements, and then I will let you guys know what we're going to be talking about next week. So I will see you when you come back from the break. Thank you.
Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touche. What?
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
If you like this video, please share it.
And hit the subscribe button to watch more great Geico videos if you... Hey, guys, can you please watch the begonias? Just planted those.
Sorry.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session, today's lesson. I know it wasn't heavy, it was light. We have those. We're going to have a whole bunch of those. But I just want to encourage you guys to take a look at how you can implement that one thing. That one thing that will be a passion project for you. It can be overwhelming when you have a full schedule. I'm not telling you guys and I'm not advising you guys to do nothing that I haven't done. I am a firm believer of being a living, walking witness, testimony. I share. I'm very, very transparent. These are things that I have done, I do, and I have helped me heal, helped me process, helped me respond and not react, helped me realize, like, this too shall pass. It gets greater later. I'm sacrificing now for a better tomorrow. That's where, they're cliche sayings, but it's really true if you want it to be. I sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. I work 2 jobs today to afford that vacation that I'm taking at the end of the year. Whatever it may be for you. I do this for this, but you get to determine. You get to determine, but first things first, you have to choose. You have to choose. If you will always get the same results if you're doing the same things. If you want more peace, if you want more joy, if you want more happiness, you have to do the evaluation. You have to do the process. You have to do the healing. Because everything else is temporary. Everything else is temporary. What I have now, today, cannot be taken from me. And I always explain to everybody, it's not that I don't get upset. I just don't stay upset. I choose. I choose not to give away my joy. I choose not to give away my peace. I choose not to give away my happiness. And I walk in my passions and purpose. Every day. Every day. So that's our little wrap up, And of course, power, passion. What's next? Purpose. So next week's episode will definitely cover purpose. I will be talking to you guys in depth about what purpose is, what it means to me, and why, how to do this thing called purpose. So a few announcements are, today I have a couple. First and foremost, as you guys know, we were in a auction. Last week I told you guys that we had a live auction going on that has since closed. We closed on Friday, and I don't have the numbers yet or the winners, but I do want to publicly thank Lauren of Creative Charity Auctions, LLC, for assisting us. They were the people that helped us host the auction and put those very, very beautiful items up for us, from memorabilia to photos to trips, vacations. There was tickets. There was a whole bunch of things on the auction block that they really, really are helping us within the community impact these women in a positive way. Also, 3 P's, yet again, as I always tell you guys, Power, Passion, and Purpose, Inc. is my faith-based nonprofit. And what we do is we help women do exactly what I'm doing here. walk through that process of healing and help them gain the skills necessary to change their lives and their children's lives. And that we do that through trainings, workshops, conferences, and we provide safety net supportive services. And what that is, we provide those emergency needs that they may come across when they're fleeing domestic violence situations or just trying to implement the skills and tools that are needed to have a healthy life. And if you're looking to support us, you can always go to our website and make donations. We also accept Zelle and PayPal. That's always ongoing. Anytime you can look at our Facebook, our social media, Instagram, to find out what we are doing in and through the community. Next month is a huge month for us because it is domestic violence, because it is SIDS awareness, there's cancer awareness, bullying, and all of the nature. October is a huge month for us. We do have a conference coming up, but I said to tell you guys that we have postponed it. The location that we were going to use told us that we don't have the space for that day. There's some conflicts going on, but we apologize for that. And as soon as we have the new date, we will let you guys know about that. And I would love to give my appreciation to Boss Up Houston, our listeners, that's you guys, our viewers, that's you guys, our donors and sponsors who allow us to continue to step out in the community every day and do what I am purposed to do. And that's to take my trauma and transform it, but also showing you how to do that for yourself. So it's always trauma to transformation. I love you guys to life. I love you with the agape love of God. And there's nothing that I wouldn't say or do. There's no conversation off the table. Know that you can email in. You can call us at 346-214-2917 or info@power-passion-purpose.org. I'm always accessible, and if I'm not, believe me, I have a really good response time. This is what I do, morning, noon, and night. I love what I do. I love, because I love seeing people get breakthrough, and I love to see people excel in life and walk in who they are meant to be. I love to see those chains fall off, those bondages broken, those cycles stop. It empowers me to keep going and keep doing what I do. When I see someone's light bulb come on and say, I can breathe, I can love, and I can thrive now because I no longer feel bound to what happened to me. And I understand that it did not happen to me, but it happened for me. And I choose me first. And everything else comes second. And until next week, guys, have an amazing week. And I will see you then. Hi, beautiful. How are you today? I'm Tisha Dolby, and welcome to Power, Passion, and Purpose, where every woman has the opportunity to discover your powers, your passions, and God's purpose for your life. We will be diving into healing, growing, and maturing, and becoming all that God has for you to be. Tune in every week on Sundays at noon on the Boss Up Houston Network. I'll see you on the inside. Have a great day.